Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our March 20, 2025 meeting of Ascension Parish Council. I'll call to order, and I'm going to ask Mr. Arsenault, please lead us in the invocation.
Dear Lord, thank you for a beautiful day. Thank you for getting us all here safely. We thank you for the opportunity to serve, and we thank you for the parish that we do serve, God. We pray that you would bless this meeting, bless our discussions and our decisions. In your name we pray.
Amen. We have a special group of gentlemen who are going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's fellas, y'all want to come up to the podium right here? Somebody's got to go first. There we go.
Travis, none of your guys have pockets.
Where's the pockets?
Yeah, where they at?
They got to graduate today.
Oh,
They don't have a photo yet.
Whenever y'all are ready.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. See, Madam Chair, we have roll call. I believe Mr. Robert?
He's here. He's running.
Oh, okay. Mr. Robert's here, just not seated yet. So everybody is in attendance. Chair's addition, the chair has no additions tonight. Public comment sign-in period. If anybody would like to speak on any of our agenda items, please come see Ms. McKee over here. She has the red and green cards. When we get to that agenda item, you have 3 minutes to speak. And now, agenda item number 5, presentations. Our first presentation is going to be certificates of recognition for the Central Middle School boys basketball team who were parish champs this year. Hey, little boys, whenever coach calls your name and gives it to you, look, if y'all want to walk through that door and come stand right here, we're going to take a group picture afterwards, okay?
Good evening. I'd like to first thank the parish president and councilman, chairman, also for allowing the kids to come, or the young men to come and be recognized for winning the parish championship this year for Ascension. The team went 10-1 this year and won the first parish championship. And I want to say how many years it was? 10? Almost 10 years since the school had won the parish championship in basketball. And the kids showed great growth this year. Came from 0 wins the year before to 10 this year and winning the championship. They did a good job. So we'll call y'all up one by one and come up and get your certificate. Bryce Trepanga. Cannon Newman. Kobe Evans. Houston Green Jr. Isaiah Weems. Caden Reshort. Caden Joseph. Kevin Dykes. Landon McMillan. Trice Fleming. Tristan Sampson. I seen Jaden walked in. Let me find his. Jade Akins. And this is Coach Lewis, who helped assistant coach this year with the team. And I see I've got our principal, Ms. Hills, back. I'd like to give her a special shout out for allowing us to coach the kids this year.
That's that age, though. That 7th, 8th grade year. They get-
Congrats, guys. All right, thank you there, Coach Turner. Our second presentation for the night is going to be a proclamation to proclaim Disability Awareness Month in Ascension Parish. Mr. President.
Thank you, Chair. So whereas the Ark of Ascension, a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering individuals of all ages with developmental and intellectual disabilities and special needs, endeavors to facilitate their holistic development. The Ark upholds standards of professionalism across its operations, leveraging human and financial resources to ensure that those it serves can lead enriching lives. The Ark, a nationwide network of over 140,000 members spanning more than 850 state, local chapters, unites in its commitment to support individuals with disabilities and their families to receive equitable access, information, advocacy, and skills necessary for community participation and the pursuit of fulfilling life. A life where the disabled and their families feel valued, respected, and integrated into all facets of society, empowered to make autonomous decisions for their services and support. The Ark of Ascension plays a pivotal role in helping these residents of Ascension Parish with their intellectual disabilities feel empowered by meeting their diverse needs. Therefore, be it proclaimed, I, Clint Quintmall, President of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, express my gratitude to the Ark of Ascension members and officially designate March 2025 as Disability Awareness Month in Ascension. So I think we have Miss Raven Labiche. I think she's here and present, and some other members of the Ark. If you can come up.
Good evening. It's been a long day. So first and foremost, I want to thank the Parish of Ascension, the Parish Council, for always recognizing the people that we support, children and adults and their families with developmental disabilities and intellectual delays. I have with me two of my board members, Ms. Erica Ramos and Ms. Shay Remarks. We have a wonderful board. We do have some members that's out and about in other endeavors in the community. Our board president is Tammy Williams, our treasurer, Ms. Vanessa Williams, board members Anita Can, vice president Dawn Goatley, and board member Monty Buckles. And so we have a very active board, but I'm here to talk about Disability Awareness Month. It is important that we always keep on the forefront the needs of people with disabilities, that we maintain the services that are available to them so that they can live enhanced, beautiful, wonderful quality of life. And that's what we do at the Ark of East Ascension. We want to make sure that we continue to serve the families of East Ascension with any needs, resources, as well as programs and supports. And so being able to allow this parish to know that this month is set aside to bring awareness that people with disabilities are here, we matter, we want to be included in society, we want to also be residents of the places where we live and participate fully. This parish has been very embracing to the mission and vision of the Ark of East Ascension, and we are ecstatic to be in Ascension Parish. Many people know us for our premier fundraiser, Dancing for a Cause. I will not beg anybody to dance that's on the council just yet, but I will say we have a couple of dancers in here, winners. But I'll be back later in the year for that. But it's our premier fundraiser, and it helps us to continue to provide services and supports to the families and children and adults in this parish. And so I want to thank you all for allowing us this time to always share our mission, keep our people with special needs on the forefront of this community. Thank you.
Glad I wore my good teeth.
Come on, Lisa.
Sit down. Good, have to catch him.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Look at you.
And Ms. Raven.
So helpful. That's a small business owner if I've ever seen one.
Thank you, Ms. Raven. All right, our third presentation of the evening is going to be another proclamation for Flood Awareness Month in Ascension Parish. Mr. President.
Right. Again, thank you, Chair. Flood Awareness Month. Whereas the Amite River Basin is substantially affected by floods, with some of the most devastating floods occurring during spring. The Amite River Basin citizens, communities, and parishes have suffered substantially loss during these floods. They should be aware of the measures that can be taken to reduce the risk of flood losses. The Amite River Basin Commission continues to play a vital role in the flood risk management and mitigation efforts, providing critical support and coordination to protect lives and properties within the basin. Educating the public about flood awareness and safety measures, mitigation strategies is essential to reducing the impact of future flood events. Ascension Parish government recognizes the importance of raising awareness about flood risk and preparedness to ensure the safety and resilience of our communities. Therefore, be it proclaimed, I, Clint Quinton, President of the Parish of Ascension, State of Louisiana, do, by the authority invested in me, do proclaim March 20th, 2025, Flood Awareness Month. I don't believe we have anybody here from ARBC to speak or receive this, but I do want to ask if anybody's here. I don't want to assume. There we go. So we're ready to continue, Chair.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. And look, we'll keep your mic on. We'll go straight into your parish president's report.
All right. Good evening, council. So short and sweet. I want to remind everyone to get out and vote. We're in an early voting period, which ends this Saturday, March 22nd. Election day is Saturday, March 29th. So let your voice be heard. The second thing is this is an early reminder. We will remind at the next council meeting as well. The next trash bash is Saturday, April 12th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. See our socials for information on how to sign up. And so we encourage everybody to take part to keep Ascension beautiful. That concludes my report. Thank you, Chair.
All right, before we move on to the consent agenda, we had one parish champ who walked in a little bit late, and Coach Turner definitely wants to recognize him. Let's see. Okay, we're moving along. Agenda item number 7, the consent agenda. Again, we do not have to read the consent agenda anymore. So at this time, would any of my colleagues like to remove any item from the consent agenda for further discussion?
Item 7C.
Okay. Councilman Vornado would like to remove 7C. So 7C is now going to become 7-1 on our agenda, which will be right before item 8, planning and zoning recommendations. So at this time, Chair will entertain a motion to adopt the consent agenda as amended.
Motion.
I have a motion by Mr. PT and a second by Mr. Vornado. Any objection? Hearing none, so move. And we're going to go right into the 7C that we just removed and made 7-1. I'm sorry, let me get to the description. And this item is approval of of a cooperative endeavor agreement between Ascension Parish government and the Council on Aging for building a new senior citizen in Prairieville. Parish will loan the funds in the amount of $2 million to be repaid by COA over a 10-year period from the signing of the promissory note. And I believe, Ms. Dorn, you're going to give us a little highlight?
Yes, just a little bit of highlight. Good evening. So we're basically going to loan the Council on Aging $2 million. It will come from the Sales Tax District Number 1. There is a 4.4% interest rate that we will be charging over 10 years. The interest we will earn is about $476,000. That money will be used for senior activities, senior programming activities, such as the sock hop. This total project is going to cost about $4 million, of which the Council on Aging has a grant for $500,000 from the state, and they will put up $1.5 million themselves, plus our $2 million that we're going to loan them. So, that's it.
I believe Mr. Varner has a question or comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to, what we had discussed, I think before the finance meeting, to recognize the administration for doing it this way, because it saves, I think, the taxpayers, roughly $300,000, I think.
Correct.
Going from a 7% to 7% shorter loan to a 4%.
4.4.
4.4 for 10 years. So I think it's a smart investment, and I just wanted to make it known to the taxpayers that doing it this way saves roughly about $300,000. So, thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
sure.
Okay. Motion.
Motion.
I have a motion approved by Mr. PT, a second by Mr. Vornado. Any more questions, any objections? Hearing none? So moved. Thank you, Ms. Dawn. All right, 8A, planning and zoning recommendations, zoning review ID PZ-3613.25 for Roco Investments LLC located on the south side of West Edenborn Parkway, approximately 1,900 feet east of South St. Landry Avenue, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from Crossroads Commercial to Light Industrial. The motion would be to either accept or deny the recommendation of the planning and zoning, which was to approve.
Motion accept.
I have a motion to accept by Ms. Beatty, a second by Mr. Vornado. Any comments, any questions? No? Hearing none. So move. 8B, zoning review ID PZ-3585.25, lot C1D for Kelco Properties LLC, Kirby Keller, located on the south side of LA Highway 30, approximately 984 feet west of Delat Road, to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map from Crossroads Commercial to mixed use, to accept or deny the recommendation of the zoning committee, which was to approve.
Motion accept.
Motion to accept by Mr. PT, a second by Mr. Vornado. Any questions, any objections? Hearing none? So moved. Good job, Mr. Lance. General business, 9A, approval change order number 13 with Shaw Construction Services Sewer Improvement Project number SEWR 11002 for the addition of 15 house connections to install additional fencing and additional paving in accordance with the approved amendment from OCD for additional quantities not in the original scope of work for an additional $122,134. A new not to exceed amount of $6,012,886.45. I have a motion approved by Mr. Vornado. A second by Mr. Hillinsbeck. Any questions? All right, so move. I am glad to see that project finally wrapping up. That has been.
You ain't the only one, buddy.
That's been what's it been, Travis? 4 years? I think that project started in 21. Whew.
I only had it for a year.
All right. 9B, approval of substantial completion of sewer improvement project AP SEWR 11002 CBDG project number 03PARA 2301 by Shaw Construction. Motion by Mr. Vornado. A second by Mr. Hillinsbeck. Any objection? Hearing none. So move. Item number 10, introduction of ordinances. Budget amendment number 1, approval to amend the 2025 budget. Motion introduced by Ms. Pitti. 10B, introduction of ordinance to amend Ascension Parish Consolidated Utilities District number 1 and Parish Utilities of Ascension Water Company Rules and Regulations, Section 4, Billing Fees and Payments 3, fees to adjust and revise the fee schedule, new tap fee, service deposit, and tap fee ports for 4-inch, 6-inch, and 8-inch meters only. Motion introduced by Mr. Joseph. And we are going to our public hearing ordinances, agenda item number 11. 11A, to read number an ordinance to amend Ascension Parish zoning map from mixed use 2 to small plan unit development. Zoning review ID PZ 3404.24, track X and track Y1 of Charles C. Brown property for Primex Properties LLC located on the north side of LA Highway 42, approximately 1,400 feet east of Old Jefferson Highway. Mr. Dupatti.
Purpose. This ordinance amends the official zoning designation for tract X and tract Y. 1, attached legal description from mixed use 2 to small plan unit development. This rezone is identified as zoning review ID PZ 3401.24, whereas Ascension Parish is a local governmental subdivision as defined by Article 6, Section 44 of the Louisiana Constitution 1974, and whereas the parish of Ascension is the governing and responsible body over the zoning and regulation within its jurisdiction. And whereas Article 6 of the Home Rule Charter of Ascension Parish, adopted May 4, 1993, identifies the process and manner in which to adopt ordinances regulating the lands of this parish, and whereas the official zoning map for Ascension Parish was last adopted on March 8, 2016, and whereas the Parish Council reserves the authority to make changes to the official zoning map by ordinance, and this request has been processed in compliance with the procedure set forth, be it ordained by the Ascension Parish governing authority that the official zoning map of Ascension Parish, Louisiana is amended to reflect the property identified in Exhibit A as small plan unit development as the official designation. Severability in the event that any portion of this ordinance is ever held invalid or unconstitutional for any reason by any court of competent jurisdiction over it, such portion shall be deemed a separate, distinct, and independent provision and shall not be affected the validity of the remaining portion of the ordinance. Effective date, this ordinance shall be in full effect as permitted by law. Exhibits: A, legal description; B, plat map; C, aerial zoning map. Adoption. This ordinance having been submitted to vote. The vote done was as follows.
Motion to open public hearing by Mr. Vornado. A second by Mr. Arsenault, and we do have a public speaker, Mr. Mickey Robertson.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Mickey Robertson with MR Engineering and Surveying. And I also have Mr. Neil Bates here tonight with Primex Properties. They are a preferred developer for Tractor Supply, and they are the developers of this particular project. It's a Tractor Supply. It's going to be located on Highway 42, right next to the Meadows at Oak Grove and the Oak Grove Market, right there on the north side of Highway 42. We held an informational meeting back in, sometime last year. It seems like we've been at this for a while now, where we sent out over 100 certified letters to adjacent residents and the HOA for Meadows at Oak Grove. We held an informational meeting over at Coach Brown's facility on Highway 73, and we didn't have anybody show up, so we assume that's a good sign that everyone's in favor of having a Tractor Supply in this area. We presented the SPUD at the December Planning Commission meeting. We received a unanimous vote of approval with some stipulations. Tractor Supply would like to have a couple of those stipulations revised. Namely, the building square footage is actually 22,000 square feet. It was inadvertently shown as 15.5. The calculations or the dimensions were correct. It just 15.5 was actually the retail area that was used to calculate the parking requirement. So the building's actually 22,000 square feet. They would like the trailer display to be able to remain at the front of the building. They certainly would like to have the words Tractor Supply across the front of the building, very consistent with the rest of the big box users along Highway 42, the Rouse's, the Walmart, the car wash across the street. And they would also not like to have to take the stored equipment in front of the building in every night, very consistent with the rest of the big box users across Ascension Parish. Other than that, they're accepting the other stipulations that were required. So with that taken into consideration, we ask for your approval, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Motion to close by Mr. Vornado. Second by Ms. Petey. All right, and we are moving to, to 11C, the ordinance to amend the Ascension Parish zoning map for mixed use 2 to SPUD ID PZ 3401.24, track X and track Y1 of Charles C. Brown property for Primex Properties located on the north side of LA 42, 1,400 feet east of Old Jefferson Highway. And Mr. Hillensbeck.
Yeah, I'd like to amend the motion to grant the waiver for the entire building, the 22,000 square feet.
Let's see, so you're making an amendment to,
Chairman, Councilman Hillingsbeck submitted his amendment beforehand. It's stapled to your agenda.
oh, I tore that report.
Mine's the very last page.
Okay, do you mind if I read your?
No, go ahead.
Oh, perfect. All right, so the amendments that Mr. Hillingsbeck are offering is to grant the waiver for the entire building to 21,930 square foot, and to delete the fourth stipulation that reads, no utility trailers displayed across the front of the building at night, right, needs to be moved elsewhere. The seventh stipulation that reads, words Tractor Supply cannot be on building, just the logo. And the eighth stipulation that reads, stored equipment in front of building needs to be moved during non-working hours. Motion. Okay, gotcha. Mr. Hillingsbeck is making the motion. Mr. Robert seconded? Seconded, okay. All right, is there any objection strictly to the amendments? Not, we're only voting on those four amendments that he offered. Any objection to that? Hearing none. So moved. So now, Chair needs a motion to approve as amended.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Hillingsbeck, second by Mr. Vornado. Any objection? Hearing none. So moved. I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot my iPad at home this morning, and so I'm just over here flipping. Okay, 11D, reading of an ordinance to revoke an existing 30-foot drainage servitude and an existing 15-foot drainage servitude located across the northern portion of tract B1A1A of the George M. Valentine property. Mr. Dupatti.
Purpose, to revoke an existing 30-foot drainage servitude and an existing 15-foot drainage servitude located across the northern portion of tract B1A1A of the George M. Valentine property. Property as depicted on the Quality Engineering and Surveying LLC plat map dated July 18, 2022, recorded at instrument number 1057196. Whereas the petitioner has petitioned the Ascension Parish Council to revoke the existing 30-foot drainage servitude and the existing 15-foot drainage servitude located across the northern portion of tract B1A1A of the George M. Valentine property. Property as depicted on the Quality Engineering Surveying LLC map plat map dated July 18, 2022, recorded at instrument number 1057196. And whereas the planning department, engineering department, and all relevant utility companies have reviewed and researched said request and have no objection to the revocation as such, the parish of Ascension hereby ordains that it grants the approval of the revocation of an existing 30-foot drainage servitude and an existing 15-foot drainage servitude located across the northern portion of tract B1A1A of the George M. Valentine property. Property as depicted by on the Quality Engineering Surveying LLC plat map dated July 18, 2022, recorded at instrument number 1057196, attached hereto and made a part hereof Exhibit A. Repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith or hereby henceforth. Repeal severability of any provision of this ordinance is ever held invalid or such invalidity shall not affect other provisions herein, which can be given effect without the invalid provision, and to this end, the provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable. Effective date, this ordinance shall become effective in 15 days after adoption.
Motion to open public hearing by Mr. Hillingsbeck, a second by Mr. Vornado. Motion to close by Mr. Vornado, a second by Mr. Orsino. Motion to move to ordinance by Mr. Robert and a second by Mr. Hillingsbeck. Any questions? Any objection? Hearing none. So moved. 11G, the reading of an ordinance to revoke an existing 15-foot servitude and existing 15-foot drainage servitude located across the northern portion of Lot 5A1 of the Gerald Crotwell property. Mr. Dupatti.
To revoke an existing 15-foot servitude and an existing 15-foot drainage servitude located across the northern portion of Lot 5A1 of the Green Crotwell's property. Property as depicted on the Earls and Associates LLC plat map dated September 24, 2024, recorded at instrument number 1100859. Whereas a petitioner has petitioned the Ascension Parish Council to revoke an existing 15-foot servitude and an existing 15-foot drainage servitude located across the northern portion of Lot 5A1 of the Garon Crotwell property. Property as depicted on the Earls and Associates LLC plat map dated September 24, 2024, recorded at instrument number 1100859. And whereas the planning department, engineering department, and all relevant utility companies have reviewed and researched said request and have no objection to the revocation as such, the parish of Ascension hereby ordains that it grants approval of the revocation of an existing 15-foot servitude and an existing 15-foot drainage servitude located across the northern portion of Lot 5A1 of the Garon Crotwell property. Property as depicted on the Earls and Associates LLC plat map dated September 24, 2024, recorded at instrument number 1100859, therefore attached hereto and made a part hereof as Exhibit A. Repeal all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby henceforth repealed. Severability, if any provision of this ordinance is held to be invalid, such invalidity shall not affect the other provisions herein, which can be given effect without the invalid provisions. And to this end, the provisions of this ordinance are hereby declared to be severable. Effective date, this ordinance shall become effective 15 days after adoption.
Motion to open public hearing by Mr. Robert, second by Mr. Hillensbeck. Motion to close by Mr. Vornado, and a second by Ms. PT. Motion to move the ordinance by Mr. Vornado and a second by Ms. PT. Any questions? Any objections? Hearing none. So moved. Motion adjourned by Mr. Hillensbeck. Second. And a second by Mr. Vornado. We are adjourned. Thank you.